Hallo ihr Lieben und willkommen zurück zu Law and Order Legacies. Und wir untersuchen jetzt den Müll. Nachdem ich ja letzte Folge so gefehlt habe, weil ich es nicht gefunden habe. Ach so, da ist jetzt, ach so, noch was drunter. Gut, jetzt aber Huhn.
What'd you find?
It's the carcass of a whole rooster. It's a big one, too. Why do you suppose they just throw it away?
Maybe it died of diphtheria.
Nah, it's all cut up. Wait, let me see that blade again. I know what this is. It's a gaff. They attach these to the claws of... Hey, Mr. Huang! I think you've got some explaining to do.
Can it wait? I got a lot of customers right now.
We can talk out there if you'd rather. I'm sure they'll be interested to hear about how you're running a cockfighting ring.
Ah, cockfighting, of course. Is that, kosher? What do you think, Ray? We got enough to arrest this guy?
Yeah, I say we cuff him for the murder of Neil Jensen.
Murder? Now wait a minute, detectives. Hold everything.
Sure, it all hangs together. Jensen owed a gambling debt to Mr. Huang here, and when Jensen can't pay up, Huang starts eyeing his Rolex. Neil, thanks for 10 wonderful years. Ellie.
You gotta believe me. I didn't kill him.
Then who did?
Ricardo Guzman, I think.
Where can we find him?
He doesn't have a fixed address. Moves around from couch to couch.
Take this guy in.
Wait, I got his cell number.
What luck. I'm glad you know how to follow instructions, Mr. Huang, because we've got a little job for you.
Naja, zumindest einen guten Versuch. Na gut, fortsetzen. Ja, Hähnchenkampf.
Okay, Huang, you
Kann mir mal
remember
Besseres
what we told you,
vorzustellen.
and this ought to go down quick and painless.
He's gonna kill me, you know, when he finds out I'm working with the police.
By that time, he'll be in custody. That is, as long as you play it cool and take your cues from us.
Yeah?
Ricardo, it's Huang.
Hey, what's the matter, man? You sound funny.
Was soll Heng sagen? Die Bullen sind noch da, alles in Butter. Die Cops haben sie befragt und sind weg. Also theoretisch eins der unteren beiden.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. The cops are gone, and they're not coming back.
I still say you sound nervous.
What?
Find anything?
Seien Sie ganz lässig, seien Sie nervös, seien Sie selbstsicher.
No.
No, those clowns couldn't find a hot dog in a wiener cart.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
Was?
So what am I supposed to do, man? We got another fight coming Tuesday. You know I can't cancel it. I'm on the hook to Menendez. $5 grand, man, and I'm broke.
Schlagen Sie einen neuen, besseren Ort vor. Ja,
Hold the fight in a new location.
Better not hold the fight at the shop. Too risky. You gotta find a new location.
Where, man? I don't know nobody with that kind of space.
Tell him you do.
I do. My cousin Lou runs a body shop in Park Slope. Let me talk to him.
See, you're a pal, man.
wow, wenigstens eins richtig.
Now, tell him you'll meet him later.
Let's meet up later once everything's squared away.
Where?
Überzeugen Sie ihn davon, sein Aufenthaltsort zu verraten. Überzeugen Sie davon, sich im Laden zu treffen. Schlagen Sie einen neutralen Ort vor. Einen neutralen Ort. Gute Arbeit, Detective.
Somewhere by Pulaski Bridge, 6 p.m.
That street corner. Over by the bodega and the pharmacy. On 21st by Pulaski Bridge. Around 6?
See, sounds like a plan. See you there.
You done good, Mr. Huang.
We'll take it from here.
Gut. Na, auch noch ein guter Versuch. Aber wir können trotzdem fortsetzen, dann ist ja gut.
Wang, over here.
Sorry, Huang is indisposed at the moment. Ricardo Guzman, you are under arrest for the murder of Neil Jensen. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Oha.
Mr. Guzman doesn't dispute the cockfighting charges. We're prepared to plead guilty on that one.
Está insultando la República Dominica.
Let me. My client is not a murderer, Mr. McCoy. Mr. Jensen died as a result of an accident.
An accident?
He attempted to handle an armed bird, and he lost control of it.
Really?
Mhm.
Unbelievable. A man gets carved up like a side of beef. Guzman lets him slowly bleed to death, then dumps him on a doorstep and expects to walk away.
I checked with the Dominican consulate.
And?
He's wanted there for drug running and armed robbery.
Well, I want him here for murder.
Is it possible it really was an accident?
Does it matter? Neil Jensen didn't have to die. Guzman had 2 hours to get help and he callously stood by. Murder 2. Depraved indifference.
Ja. So, jetzt geht's wieder am Gericht los. Juhu! Die Verteidigung muss völlig verzweifelt sein. Sie beruft Guzman in den Zeugenstand. Okay. Harlan Fitzpatrick ist ein fähiger Strafverteidiger. Er wird versuchen, Guzman mit Hilfe einiger rhetorischer Tricks in einem positiven Licht erscheinen zu lassen. Ihre Aufgabe ist es, Einspruch zu erheben, sobald er seine Grenzen überschreitet. Eine Suggestivfrage bedeutet, dass der Strafverteidiger dem Angeklagten Worte in den Mund legt, um seine Argumentation zu unterstützen. Eine Suggestivfrage erkennen Sie oft an Anzeichen wie „Habe ich nicht recht?" oder finden Sie das nicht auch? Ach du Scheiße. Wenn eine Frage bereits beantwortet wurde, will ein Anwalt, dass sein Mandant eine Antwort aus effektheischerischen Gründen erneut wiedergibt. Passen Sie genau auf, um Wiederholungen in der Aussage des Angeklagten herauszuhören. Ach du Schande.
Mr. Guzman, when did you first meet Neil Jensen?
Maybe a year ago, I guess.
Who initiated the relationship? You or him?
He did. I didn't want to have no part of him, man. Not at first. What I do, I gotta be careful who I let in. It can bring trouble, you know? Especially a white guy.
Mr. Jensen came to you with an offer, is that right?
Yeah, he had a bird, and he wanted me to help him raise it and fight it.
And at first you said no?
That's right.
Wollen Sie Einspruch erheben? Ja. Frage wurde bereits beantwortet. Oh, scheiße. In sowas bin ich ja jetzt wiederum schlecht, ne? Frage wurde bereits beantwortet. Ja, doch, er hat es ja schon beantwortet, weil er hatte ja vorher gesagt, dass er am Anfang mit ihm nichts zu tun haben wollten.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Sustained. Strike that.
Yes!
What convinced you to take Neil Jensen under your wing, as it were, in spite of your suspicions?
He knew cockfighting ain't how they make it out to be, you know?
It's a more civilized practice than people realize, you mean?
Suggestivfrage, oder? Keine Frage, Führer oder Führung, Suggestivfrage.
Objection leading.
Sustained. Strike that.
What sort of sentiments did Mr. Jensen express to you?
Well, like, caulking's a real sport. It takes dedication and discipline. And you know, it can teach you a lot about life if you let it.
So you agreed to keep the bird and help him raise it?
See, together we raised El Jefe, and together we conditioned him to fight. He was a good bird.
Hier ist nun ein weiterer Trick. Mutmaßung bedeutet, dass ein Zeuge anfängt, eine Theorie zu spinnen oder einen imaginären Vorgang beschreibt. Dies könnte im Sinne der Verteidigung sein, um ein schlechtes Licht auf Neil Jensen zu werfen.
Why don't you tell us, in your own words, what happened on the night of Tuesday, May 5th?
Well, Neil come in that night really keyed up, man, like super keyed up. He was jumping all around. I think maybe he was on something.
Wollen Sie Einspruch erheben? Das ist eine Mutmaßung.
Objection. Speculation.
Sustained. Strike that from the record. Watch yourself, Mr. Guzman. Please confine your description to actual events.
Go on.
Well, he was excited, you know, because El Jefe was finally gonna fight. There were some other birds up first, but he couldn't sit and watch, man. Pacing around, till his turn finally came. Okay, I tell him. I'm the handler. I'm experienced at this stuff. Let me do it.
Get the bird into the ring.
The pit, yeah. It could be dangerous, you know, especially with the long heel.
A long blade attached to the rooster's spur.
Right, but Neil wouldn't hear nothing I was saying, man. Being he was a rider, he had to do everything himself. Well, anyway, he's yelling about how he had to be the one to handle El Jefe. I told him don't. I ordered him even, but he really got in my face about it, man, so I had to back down. Then he went for the rooster, like he was going for a football or something. Grabbed it around the neck. You understand, this is a bird was being conditioned to fight. The bird goes crazy.
It attacked Neil Jensen. Naturally, you were horrified.
Ja. Und zwar Suggestivfrage.
Objection. Leading.
Sustained.
How did you feel?
Horrified, naturally.
Sobald wir zu dem Teil der Zeugenaussage kommen, in der Guzman Nils Wunden beschreibt, sollten Sie auf die Aussagen achten, für die man eigentlich über medizinische Fachkenntnisse verfügen muss,
I
okay?
made a grab for the bird and got it.
Putting yourself in considerable danger in the process, I imagine.
I imagine, ist das eine Suggestivfrage? Ja, theoretisch schon. Oder ist es eine Mutmaßung? Eigentlich ist eine Suggestivfrage.
Objection. Leading. Counsel is putting words in the witness's mouth.
Withdrawn.
But by the time I got the rooster under control, the damage was done.
I see. So what then? What did you do for him?
I wrap a blanket around him to try stop the bleeding, you know?
Did you think to take him to the hospital?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but he told me not to. He wanted me to take him home.
Mr. Jensen asked you to take him home.
Mm-hmm. His wounds, I mean, he was cut up pretty bad, but not so bad as all that. He should have pulled through, no problem.
Ja, weil keine Fachkenntnisse vorhanden sind.
No expert knowledge. Considering the outcome, I think we can conclude that Mr. Guzman's assessment of the situation is off.
Sustained. Facts only, Mr. Guzman.
You swore on the Bible you'd tell the truth, Mr. Guzman.
I'm telling the truth. I panicked maybe. You would have done the same. But I did what Neil asked me to do. What I thought would save his life.
Your witness, Mr. McCoy.
Bei dieser Aussage standen die Geschworenen auf der Seite der Staatsanwaltschaft. Sie haben gewonnen mit plus 60. Fortsetzen.
Mr. Guzman.
Die Anklage ist bereit für Guzmans Kreuzverhör. Konzentrieren Sie sich auf widersprüchliche Beweise und eine kaltschnäuzige Geringschätzung gegenüber Jensen. Vermeiden Sie Themenbereiche wie seine Vergangenheit oder kulturelle Vorurteile. Entschuldigt, Hachipu. Oder kulturelle Vorurteile gegenüber Hähnchenkämpfen. Ach du heilige Scheiße. Also das fällt auf jeden Fall raus. Das ist hier noch Tatzeit.
The incident in question occurred on the night of May 5th.
That's right. Maybe 1:45.
1:45. And you say you acted to save him?
Of course I acted. I tried to help him right there, and when I couldn't help him, I took him home, like he asked me to.
Stimmt das mit der Todeszeit überein? Nein, die war später. Zwei Stunden zwischen dem Angriff und dem Notruf. Guzman hatte eine Abneigung gegenüber typischerweise, das hat damit gar nichts zu tun. Guzman sagte aus, dass er den Unfall selbst gar nicht mitbekam. Horan hat ausgesagt, dass Guzman Jensen tot sehen wollte. 2 Stunden zwischen dem Angriff und dem Notruf. Ja. Welcher Notruf?
There's a problem here. The 911 call is timestamped 4:03. 2 hours after the incident, Mr. Guzman. Under the circumstances, it's fair to ask. Couldn't your response have been a little more prompt?
Hijos de puta mentirosos.
I'm sorry, Mr. Guzman.
It's a mistake. Someone's not telling the truth.
Are you suggesting 911 got the time wrong?
Or somebody.
Gut, Leute, wir machen hier trotzdem eine Folgenpause. Ich danke wie immer fürs Zuschauen und hoffe, ihr seid bei der nächsten Folge Law and Order Legacies wieder mit dabei. Bis dahin, tschüss!